We highlight a lot of blockbuster games from major devs on Nintendo Switch, quite a bit, and they're all great for the most part, but I recently got another Xbox, long story, I swear it's related, give me a sec, and have been playing Cuphead, and that led me down a rabbit hole of thoughts. Allow me to walk you down my process. Man, this game is good. I wish it was on Switch. That'll probably never happen. But wait, Xbox has been working with Nintendo a lot lately. They kinda have a history of working together. No, I don't want to get my hopes up. Wait, there are tons of great indie games already on Switch. I should talk about them in a video. And that leads us to today. There's a lot of underplayed or rarely talked about gems on Nintendo Switch that are worth our time and effort. Some of which are only on Switch, some are best on Switch, and others are just nice to finally have for Nintendo only gamers. Here are 9 Nindies worth playing on Nintendo Switch. Oh, and I also have some help from my friends, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. About a week or so ago, self-proclaimed Dutch dinosaur Two Tribes was kind enough to send us over the Nintendo Switch version of their latest game, Rive. Hashtag not spawn, hashtag free product, and make no mistake, they weren't the only dev to send us over their game, but they were definitely the one worth highlighting in this video. Rive is a platforming twin-stick shoot-'em-up with the ability to hack robots and use special weapons while playing through the story, missions, battle arena, and challenges. The time I spent with the game was full of feel-good retro platforming fun. I'm not really clued in on how this game plays on the other platforms it's available for, but I feel like this game was destined for a platform like Switch, and is without question best played there. So let's talk Switch specifics. The HD rumble in this game added quite a bit in my opinion. It makes taking a hit feel visceral. Regular rumble can be annoying. This felt additive. There's a co-pilot mode that's perfect for the whole sharing the joy aspect of Switch, and most importantly for me, the ability to play this game wherever you go easily brings it into a different stratosphere from the idea of playing it on PC and other console versions. The visuals are great and all, but give me handheld mode any day for this sort of game, especially. The pick up and play aspect of Switch I feel elevates this game more than any other feature. Its retro feel and aesthetic turns a mode that's usually marred with noticeable visual compromises into a no-brainer for even the most discerning of graphic snobs. In summary, Rive is a fun game with a decent amount of challenge for retro shoot-'em-up fans. Playing it on Switch is the way to go. Stardew Valley was an impulse buy for me. Mario Odyssey was right around the corner. I was itching for something new to mess around with, and Fire Emblem Warriors didn't intrigue me enough. Before clicking the buy button, I thought it'd be a game that I'd maybe sink 5 or so hours into, but turns out I dumped about 8 times that in. As a kid, I was a pretty big fan of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life on the GameCube. That game was a great life sim with all sorts of fun things to do, charming humor, and this game is no different, only there's a lot more to do. But make no mistake, I spent all of mine fishing and mining and walking around town, staring at the wife and fishing, selling stuff, fish, and taking a bus to fish. I like fishing, okay? Don't judge me. It's a good game. You should play. But quit the rest of your life first. I love the original Steamworld Dig on new Nintendo 3DS. So when I heard there was a sequel and it was confirmed to be on Switch, I absolutely had to pick it up, and that I did. It's another one of my sit back and just turn off type games. It's therapeutic in a lot of parts, action packed in others, clever in most. What sold me on this game was the gear mechanics. Specifically, I was sold after playing through a sandstorm sequence wherein you use a grappling hook to claw your way forward. The platform challenge and great controls is what I love most about this game. There's a few great combat sequences and challenges, and the mining and upgrade game loop is fun, but the thing that I feel stands out most in this game is the platforming. If you enjoy 2D platformers and haven't picked this up for your Switch, make it happen. You won't regret it. For the next few games, we're going to have a bit of a gauntlet of guests. First, Dan from That Cyber Channel is going to talk to you guys about Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap. If you've been tuned into this channel for the last few weeks, you know him. If not, check him out in the last video that we did with him in the link in this card, or down in the description, and in this video's featured playlist.
Wow, not even a month later and you guys need my help. Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap is a remake of the 1989 classic Wonder Boy 3 and the Dragon's Trap for the Master System. And let me tell you, that game was way ahead of its time. You play as Hugh Man. I mean, not everything is perfect, but I guess just imagine yourself as Hugh Jackman, just slap his face on there and it's Hugh Jackman. You play as Hugh Man, who's been cursed by the dragons, which causes you to take on many different forms, including a fire-breathing dragon, a mouse that can climb on walls, and a lion. Because lions are badass. Developed by Lizard Cube, this game is absolutely one of the most beautiful games from 2017, taking on a hand-drawn style. And fun fact, it took less time to make than Cuphead. But Cuphead, man, it looks real fucking good. So, both are good games. Little has been changed since the 1989 version as far as gameplay is concerned. Matter of fact, Lizard Cube spent a lot of time to make sure that the gameplay of the remake felt almost identical to the 1989 version. They went through and made sure that each turn, each time you tapped left, it felt just like the original. And let me tell you, for controls that came out in 1989, it's good. It's good. But I want you to know, come here, just bring it in. You're gonna love this game. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go. I don't know who's next. AJ, introduce the new guy.
Next up is Bob from the Wolf Den. You guys know him. He's going to talk about Azor Striker Gunvolt, the Striker Pack. Again, his stuff's linked in this card, description, playlist.
Let me ask you something. Do you like Mega Man? Well, too bad, because there hasn't been a new game in 110 years. Wait, but don't you worry. There's a spiritual successor in our midst. Mega Man creator Keiji Inafune had nothing to do with this one. You thought I was going to talk about Mighty Number 9, didn't you? Azor Striker Gunvolt by Inti Creates is sort of a what if the Mega Man X series kept going. The biggest change here is the added mechanic of this big orb shield thing that you can throw up at the press of a button. Other than that, everything else is systematically Mega Man. The level design is good, but the super intense boss battles are where this game really shines. As a fan of the SNES Mega Man X games, I love this. The Azor Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack is unfortunately $40 on the Switch eShop, but there's 2 full games in there. I think that price is just a little bit high. I'm sure there's a lot of other great games on this list for a lot cheaper. But if you love Mega Man or just have some money to blow, sponsor me on YouTube Gaming. I mean, buy this game. It's definitely worth your time. Just make sure you skip past all of these dialogue options. That might not be worth your time. I swear it's a good game. I like this game. I know I said some bad things about it, but it's a great game. It's good. You should try it out. You're gonna like it.
Last but not least, Blessing from OK Beast. He's going to talk about Golf Story. Subscribe to his channel. Seriously. I mean, seriously. Okay, moving on.
When it comes to the indie scene on Nintendo Switch, nothing embodies the joy of pick up and go like Golf Story does. Developed by Sidebar Games in Australia, Golf Story puts you in the shoes of an up-and-coming golfer who is down on his luck and is determined to make it big. What separates Golf Story from other games is not only its retro stylization, but how it molds 2 distinct styles of game into one. Golf Story has the storytelling and exploration of a 16-bit RPG. It also has the mechanical engagement and fun gameplay loop as a sports title. That's where the magic lies. At one moment, you're lining up your perfect putt while accounting for the wind direction and the slope of the fairway. The next, you're laughing at the hilarity of 2 NPCs getting into a rap battle. Golf Story is fun, quirky, and given its status as a hybrid sports game, very replayable, which tops off why it's perfect for pick up and go. At any time, if you're feeling for those 9 holes, Golf Story's got you.
Shovel Knight is pretty much indie game royalty at this point. I'm sure if you even have a little bit of interest in indie games, you know all about all of that game's Mega Man meets DuckTales meets Zelda 2 meets Castlevania gameplay. What you may not have known yet was about all of the other play styles made possible by Treasure Trove. This compilation of sorts allows you to play as a few more knights from the Order of No Quarter: Spectre Knight, Plague Knight, and most recently King Knight, all of whom play vastly different from one another and change how you approach the levels in Shovel Knight, as well as literally changing those levels to fit their unique traits. I shouldn't even have to tell you that you should be playing Shovel Knight on your Switch, but if that's what it takes, I will. Play Shovel Knight. On your Switch, of course. Overcooked is probably the hardest amongst these games to recommend. That's not to say anything bad about the quality of this game. The game itself is excellent and a great time with one really invested friend or 2 or 3 casuals. But if you can't routinely make that sort of thing happen, this game sort of becomes something to stow away for special occasions. Some people are against spending money on games like that. I do think it's worth it, but I'm obviously a special case, so take it with a grain of salt. Rocket League is awesome. Rocket League was also one of my favorite games in 2015, and half of my reasons for jumping in on PS4 that year. Although that was only based on a couple of hours of playtime with randos. I've since played a few more hours on Switch with Bob. That stream will also be linked in the feature playlist, and with Fanatix subs in the Discord, linked in the description. And I never knew about Rumble mode. This game is worth its price for that mode alone. You need to experience the chaos of that beautiful gem of a game mode, and you get to play it with any friends that have the game on other platforms, unlike someone. But anyway, play Rocket League. And every other game we mentioned here, they're all worth your time and money, I promise. Also, make sure you scroll down to the description to the links for all my friends featured in this video, especially Blessing. Let's get him and the rest of OK Beast to 1,000 subs. Of course, don't forget to subscribe here and check out our Octopath video from this Tuesday. Click the bell next to the subscribe button to know when new videos go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, that's it for me. See you next week.